What's up, Ranger Nation? It is your boy JB, and I am here today with our review for Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode number 14, titled The Golden Opportunity. So, you guys, without further ado, let's get into this episode, shall we? But before we do, man, how are you guys out there feeling after all the revelations from Fan First Friday yesterday? Feeling good out there? I know for one, I am. I'm still on the hype from this Dino Fury, full cast reveal. I love that it's diverse. And I also pre-ordered my Andros and my Astronomer Lightning collection. So I will have those, when they are released in January, on January 1st. Looking forward to it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and like I said, talk about this episode. All right, you guys. So the episode, I don't necessarily, I guess this kind of was a bit of a filler episode, maybe. I don't know. It seemed fillerish to me. But this episode was Nate-centered. We finally met Nate's parents. So the episode opened and we see Nate and we see Zoey. So they are outside of the Riptide gym and they're waiting for his parents. And, Nate is just anxious to see them. So, they do get there. Nate introduces them to Zoey first. And then they're introduced to their robots, their half robot, half human son, Steel, who comes out. Steel, like I said, I've said this plenty of times before, Steel is my favorite Ranger in this season. Now, I love all of them equally, but Steel is my dude. So Steel comes out. And, like I said, he's meeting his parents for the first time. And, he's asking his dad for money to go buy ice cream. And he's asking his mom to read him a bedtime story. And Nate is like, no. He doesn't sleep. And he's not buying ice cream. But it was like I said, it was really funny to see it. So then we see Ben and Betty show up. And I guess Ben and Betty know Nate's parents. So Ben and Betty, they are going to take Mr. and Mrs. Silva's luggage to the hotel. Now, mind you, they are on a golf cart, so they put the luggage on the cart. And I was looking at the cart, I'm like, y'all are not, that's not going to stay. I'm like, all that stuff is going to eventually fall off. And lo and behold, as Ben and Betty are driving, actually, as soon as they start driving off, one of the bags fell off the back of it. I'm like, I knew that. And I'm like, that stuff is going to continuously fall. And by the time they made it to the hotel, because I'm getting them out the way for right now, I'm going to go ahead and get Ben and Betty out the way. By the time Ben and Betty made it to the hotel, no luggage. They told the concierge to, take Mr. and Mrs. Silva's luggage up, and he was like, what luggage? They turned around and looked, oh crap, no luggage. I'm like, yeah, you guys didn't think about that, but it's Ben and Betty. The one thing I will say about Ben and Betty is I do enjoy Ben and Betty a lot more than I did Victor and Monty and Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel. Now, for Dino Fury, I don't necessarily, I know in the casting, that you saw, like the what do you call it? The scripts that you saw for the casting of Dino Fury, you did see a comedic duo. I don't necessarily think that we need a comedic duo if you can do a character kind of like Steel. Steel is comedy in himself, and it's funny. And I think with Ben and Betty, I think, there are some times where it's, slap humor and it's kind of funny, but then there are other times where it's like, it's dead to me. And again, I have to remember they are making this show for kids. So it's not necessarily geared to a 31-year-old man. It's geared to my little 7-year-old cousin. So, I get it. But let's move on, you guys. All right. So next we see Nate. He's in the gym. He's, getting his parents caught up on what's going on with him at Grid Battle Force and everything. And vice versa. They're telling him what's going on with them. So they're telling him that they're not going to be moving around anymore. He's like, oh, so you guys are going to be moving back here. And they were like, not necessarily. And he was like, but I thought you said you weren't going to move around anymore. They said, yes, we're not. What we did was we changed our assignment. So we're going to be living in Costa Rica for 2 years. And we want you to come with me. And, Nate is like, but I have so much stuff going on here. But he says, you know what? It's really complicated. And they said, just think about it and let us know. So then we see Nate. So Nate is talking to the rest of the Rangers and Commander Shaw about this, his parents going to Costa Rica and them wanting him to come with them. And which I expected. Everyone is very supportive of him going, but you can also see at the same time, they're like, what are we going to actually do without you? Because you are the brains behind the operation. So we need you around. But like I said, they're still going to be there to support Nate, but they need him. And he's like, I'll just tell them I can't go. They said, no, tell them that you can go. What you just have to do is just show us the ropes, like, how to work everything in the lab. If you show us how to work the things in the lab, then we'll be fine on our own. I'm like, are you sure? Are you guys certain about this? So Nate is, showing them everything that he knows, because we see him out with, it's him and Steele. So they are out collecting DNA. They're collecting plant DNA, and they're collecting, I guess, insect and bug DNA. So then Robo-Roxy shows up, and Robo-Roxy attacks them. So then, Nate calls for the other Rangers to come and help them. So everyone with the exception of Robbie comes to help them. So, they battle with, Robo-Roxy, and before they were about to defeat her, but before they did that, she noticed the scanner that Nate and Steele had, and she took the scanner and she left. So Robbie comes in, and Robbie has black soot all over him because he was up under one of the Zords. And this is the beginning of letting us know that although the Rangers do want to be able to do things on their own, they might not be equipped to handle the stuff that Nate handles day in and day out. But let's move on, you guys. All right, so back in the lab, we see Nate and we see Zoey in the lab by themselves. And, Zoey is trying to create a new DNA scanner while Nate is on the computer. And Nate is just looking at articles where they're talking about his parents, how they come in and they just save people and they help people. And, Zoey's like, so they're kind of like Power Rangers. He says, you're right. They are kind of like Power Rangers. So then, Zoey and Nate have a moment with one another where she finally says that, she doesn't really want him to go, but she knows that he wants to be with his parents. So for him to be happy, she would sacrifice her happiness for him because she wants him to be happy. I'm like, oh, that is really cute, really sweet. And, they were like, but we can talk all the time. Exactly. We have, modern technology is crazy, like really crazy. We have, I know in this world, they don't have Zoom, but we have Zoom, FaceTime, Skype, all that kind of stuff where you can actually be miles away from a person, but you still have so much access to being able to see people and communicate with them. It's really interesting. And, I really felt for both Nate and for Zoey, because it is hard. He wants to go be with his parents, but you guys are also family to him as well. And I know they haven't officially said it that Nate and Zoey are boyfriend and girlfriend, but we do know that. So it's got to be hard. I mean, there's a long distance relationship. Ugh. I mean, you're in Costa Rica, and I'm assuming that this show is alleged. I'm assuming we know that filming takes place in New Zealand, but the show is supposed to be in America, I'm assuming. So yeah, it would be different. I mean, that would be definitely difficult. I mean, it's difficult enough being, in two different cities or two different states, but two different countries. Yeah, that would definitely put a strain on a relationship, and a young relationship at that. Yeah, but they'll make it work. They said that they will make it work. So then let's move over to the crystal dimension. So in the crystal dimension, remember I told you, Robo-Roxy, she stole the DNA scanner from Nate that had the plant DNA as well as the bug DNA. So they were able to create a Robotron from that DNA, and his name is Clawtron. And then they were also able to put Robo-Roxy into, I don't know if that's called a reanimator or what, but whatever it is, they put her in there, and they combined her DNA with a plant. I'm like, okay, pretty interesting, pretty cool. Plant DNA. I mean, I've never really. Does a plant have DNA? I don't think so. But again, this is a kid's show, so I mean, you can't put too much thought into it. But gotcha. I'm gonna pause here. All right, you guys. So, Nate. This is a scene that I didn't put in my notes, but I actually remembered the scene. So Nate was getting ready to go, and him and his parents were getting ready to go for their flight. Ben and Betty came in, and Nate asked them where was his luggage at. They said, "Your luggage, we got that right away. But your parents' luggage, that took hours to find all of it." I'm like, exactly. I mean, you got how far did you guys drive? And I'm pretty sure people, because one of their luggages, it flew open in the street and the clothes were everywhere. So I'm like, yeah, if people saw, I would hope not, but I mean, whatever. People probably saw the luggage and was like, ooh, clothes, let me grab that. Hopefully not. So yeah, they did a homing device and they brought the luggage in and boom, the luggage just flew open. So then we do see Nate and his parents. They're heading to the airport to meet, make their flight. So then we see in the lab, Zoey is still working on the DNA scanner. And, Steele comes in and he's like, is that supposed to be like that? She's like, well, the schematics said black to whatever. And when she put the cables together, whoop, she knocked out where they transport their weapons. So then, they get a call that Robo-Roxy and Clawtron have appeared. So then, the Rangers, they go intercept Robo-Roxy and Clawtron. And, they yell out, it's morphin' time. And they go to, comfort the Morphers and nothing. Because what happened? Zoey took it out. So, back at Group Battle Force, Commander Shaw notices as well. And, they're on their, she's like, don't worry, Rangers, we're going to figure this out somehow, some way. But Nate is overhearing them as well. So Nate tells his parents, there's something that I got to take care of, but I will be back in enough time to make the flight. So he calls for Cruz to come and help him. So Cruz came. They go back to Grid Battle Force to the lab. Nate grabs the Morphers and the weapons, and he says, Cruz, I need one more thing for you. Take me to the Rangers. So then we do see Cruz and Nate. They go to the Rangers just as Robo-Roxy and Clawtron were about to, the Rangers. So, they give them the weapons and the Morphers. Actually, Cruz held onto the weapons, but the Rangers morphed and they went to battle. So there were 3 different battles that happened in this episode. We saw Devin and Nate. They battled Clawtron on the ground. Then the Gigadrone that was in the air, they sent Steel after him, and then Robo-Roxy was fighting with Robbie and Zoey. So Devin and Nate, they defeated Clawtron, and Steel needed help. So they went. So those 3 defeated the Gigadrone, Nate, Steel, and Devin. And then on the ground, like I said, it was Robbie and Zoey who were battling Robo-Roxy. So once the 3 boys, Devin, Nate, and Steel, defeated the Gigadrone, they went down to help with Robo-Roxy. Now, again, they were about to defeat Robo-Roxy, but she got out of there in just the nick of time. So then, once the battle is over with, Nate, looks at his watch because he gets an alarm and he has to go meet his parents because the flight is about to leave. So they rush to the airport, and as they get to the airport, Nate does tell his parents that, just like they have a mission to do, or they have people to help and protect, he does the same thing here, and they have to stop Evox. So unfortunately, he's not going to be able to go with them to Costa Rica, and they're understanding of it. And, he did apologize to them because he said, he was mad at them and he felt like they didn't love him. And, they say, it's fine, Nate, we forgive you and you can stay. If that's what you want to do, stay. But we'll see you and Steel for Christmas. And that was the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about the episode. Be sure to like this video. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I may have said that already. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell button so you guys are aware when I drop anything else. Share this video, and until the next one, Ranger Nation, do me a solid favor out there. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Stay warm or cool, whatever the weather is in your area. And remember, wash your hands, wear a mask, and socially distance. And until the next one, Ranger Nation, I will see you guys later. Bye. I guess